Okay, so our next step here is we're going to attach a waste ink line. Like I said, you're going to have waste ink coming from the printer, and this is just the line to get it outside. You can run this line to a waste ink bottle. This particular line is a 1/8 inch inside diameter, Master Plumber brand. You can find this pretty much anywhere on the internet. And then we're going to I use a Y connector, 2-into-1, and this is a 1/8 inch outside diameter. So what we'll do with the original Epson line and the clips on here, this is why we save the clips, you're going to just push this line onto here, that, all the way up, bring your clip down, clip it on just like it originally would. Same with the other line. Sometimes these can be a little stubborn, so just make sure it's pushed all the way up so you can get a bite on it with the clips. Then we'll run this clip up. That's kind of the lock for it so it can't come off. So you have that on there. And you'll see sometimes they get distorted, so just turn it so it lays flat. You may have to deal with it like that. Then on the other side, we're just going to take our 1/8 inch ID, press that onto the Y connector, and what I use is a zip tie to lock it into place. So we'll take that, just right where the clip is, you'll see the little bare connector, and just snug. You don't need to over tighten this, it's just so it can't come off. And then we'll trim that. We'll grab a set of pliers, we'll trim this, and then we're going to route it through the printer, through the back. So go ahead and trim that off. And I'm just going to take this line, run it through the opening here on the side, and out the back. And the idea is just to zip tie it right here in this hole. Keeping all the kinks out of it. You don't want to kink the line. Kink the line, you get a backup. It goes back up into the capping station, and it will clog it up because it can't properly flow. We're going to put some original cover pieces back on as we go, but that is the installation of the waste ink line. Of course, the end, you'll want to connect this to a waste ink bottle, waste ink bag. It's endless, however you want to do it. But the idea is to get the ink out of the printer and be able to easily dispose of it. Okay, at this point we're just going to begin to put the printer back together, all the pieces that we took off originally, the cover pieces. I'm going to start with the front cover here. You'll notice it's got 2 slots here, 2 slots here. This is 2 slots on this, so this just snaps in. Refer to the service manual if you have any trouble with this. This is really trivial stuff, putting these back on. So we'll just go ahead and line this up here. It's going to be 4 screws. Snaps in. And we have a screw over here on this side. On the top. One on the bottom. We're going to have the same on the far side. Here, click in. Got one on the top here. Manipulate around the camera. Don't drink too much coffee when you're doing this. One on the top. Right here on the bottom. Finally, we'll come over here and you'll have your 2 flat cables that you originally unplugged. So we're just going to plug these back into the slots. Helps with a flashlight. Sometimes it's hard to see. They just plug right in. Just make sure your connections are correct. So Then we're going to put this black center piece in. Tighten that down. And now we have these side covers that just snap on. Go right on the side here. Click into place. We're going to have the same on the other side. Hang it over the top first. Clips on. Refer to the service manual if you have any problem with this. Really, the covers are really trivial. Now we have our side covers. Slide in, grab on the side, push the tabs in, slide it in. We're going to do the same on the other side. There's 2 screws. After you get these on, there's 2 screws in the rear. 2 screws right here on each side, and we'll put those in next. Okay, at this point, we've turned the printer around and we're at the back portion, putting the covers on. And if you remember, in the beginning, we had marked this original back piece that we took off for a cut, here and here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut this, clean it up. And this is strictly cosmetic, and these 2 pieces we're going to reuse, and they go back on here. Okay, we've gone ahead and cut the back plate off and cleaned it up. And we're just going to go ahead and snap these in and put the screws in. Really, again, this is strictly cosmetic and really trivial. They just snap right into here. You'll see the clip. Refer to the service manual if you have an issue with it. And then there's 2 screws here. I mean, 1 screw on each side, 2 screws total. So we'll put the screw in here, kind of move around with the camera over to the side so I can get in here. Get that started. And we have that side in. And you'll notice on this side, I cut that and cleaned it up also, but we also put a little circular notch in just above the clip for the waste ink line. So what we're going to do on this one's a little more, you have to hold it with the hand when you put it on, but you're going to take your waste ink line, put it in the circle. We should then make sure your waste line is not kinked on the inside, and it comes out the side. Then we'll go ahead and put this screw in this one. Like I said, the pressure from the ink line will tend to push off on it a little bit, so just put a little pressure on the bottom as you're tightening it. And that is it. If you want to get real fancy with the rear here, you see the gray electronic cover. You can actually go get a piece of plastic from your home store and cut your holes for your power supply and your USB. It's cosmetic. I don't really recommend it because if you ever have to get in here and take this off, it's very easy with the 2 screws. It's much simpler just to paint this black if you'd like, if the looks are important to you. So let me slide this forward and give you an overview of what we've done. We have these wires coming out. These are the motors and the rear sensor. And when we attach this to the base, they're going to go through the base, and we'll give you instructions on how to connect these. The waste ink line comes out the side. You attach this to a bottle any which way you want, waste bottle, waste bag. Okay, we've completed the printer conversion part for the DTG, and as you see, we use very minimal extra parts outside the Epson printer itself. The objective was to create a path underneath, clearing out all the center to accommodate a platen base system that we will be doing next. We'll give you a little walk around. It's in the original shape. It's very strong. The minimal parts that you use we'll include in the base kit if you buy the full kit. Otherwise, they can be found at any hardware store. Printer's very strong. It looks very well cosmetically. And we will do a little quick walk around on this, and that will end the video series of converting the printer for DTG, and we will begin our next series of videos on building the base.